See the look on my face? That's because I thought I was recording. I don't know how long I was just playing, because I went to check to see how long I'd been playing, and I wasn't recording. So, I don't have a lot done, but I have some done. At least, I guess I've been at least playing for 20 minutes. I've been playing for 20 minutes. Anyways, hi there, Dr. Sheep here. Welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play episode 30. Yes, it is episode 30. I am 99% sure it's episode 30. Today we're continuing to work on the Oreo, and we're putting on the top. Well, the top cookie. I had all this great commentary, and now it's gone. It's just... I pushed record. I swear I did. Anyways, if you hear a hum in the background, that's normally the furnace, but today it's this. I have a space heater because it is really cold in my room. I also, normally anyways, I also got some slippers. They're actually too warm. I've been wearing them and my feet are super warm. Actually, I think they're starting to sweat. But the space heater and slippers is not the only thing I'm using to keep my room warm. Tomorrow, Outback and I are installing a curtain to help block in some of the heat. I'm making a whole video about it, so stay tuned for that. That'll be really exciting. Just trying to figure out what I need to do. Okay. Yeah. So that's really exciting. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. So we'll get into the weather. So okay, so this was my first week back to class. And this is my first week of my last semester of college. So I said to my manager today, I think I just had my first day of class. It's not true. I have one single credit course I'm taking later on this semester that I guess will be my first day, which is exciting. You know, it doesn't feel like it. Like senior year felt like it because I don't know. Maybe it's just because I feel like there was no way I could fail because it was freaking high school. But I don't know. High school felt way more real than college does right now. And maybe that's just because I've only done 3 years of college instead of 4 like everyone else. But I don't know. It doesn't feel quite right. And when somebody's like, "So you're a senior," I'm just like my professor today. She was like, "So you're a senior," and I'm like, "So," she's like, "So I'm assuming you're a junior or a senior?" I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I'm a senior." And I just kind of realized, kind of sat there for a second. I was like, "Yeah, I guess I'm a senior." Fantastic. It's just like that moment of realization that life is moving on, that you're moving on with your life and things are starting to change. Big deal. Big deal. But so we were supposed to start classes Monday, but we did not. We started Wednesday. And that was because it snowed a lot. And by a lot, it snowed 14 inches in one day. Which, all people from Minnesota or anybody up by the lakes is just like, by what I mean the lakes, I mean like the Great Lakes. Probably like, oh bud, you don't know stuff when it comes to you don't know anything when it comes to snow. If you think 12 inches is a lot, or if you think 14 inches is a lot, eh? Wait until you see the 20 inches I get on the weekly basis. I'm like, okay, but listen, I live in a more arid area, I guess. Nebraska's not dry necessarily. Sorry, not hot. We are warm, but we're more dry than I would say other places are. We are definitely more dry because I'm pretty sure western Nebraska and the Panhandle is a steppe climate. If you don't know what steppe climate is, it's actually a climate you don't really learn about. I never learned about steppe climate until I was in high school. I took geography, and I swear to God, that was like his big thing. We talked about steppe climates all the time. There's wet. There's not wet. There's this dry climate that's just great for like short grasses and grazing cattle and sheep and goats. That's about it. And it's just it seemed very common. Yeah, I'd never heard of it until I was in ninth grade in high school, and this guy was talking about it. Mexico, for example, Mexico City, steppe climate. So, if you want to put into a little bit more perspective from people who aren't from western Nebraska, because I think it's a steppe climate. I could be wrong. My more geography inclined will be able to answer said question. The water bottle might know. He was pretty into geography. However, I don't know if he knows climates. We'll see. He'll respond. I'm just trying to think of all the good commentary I was talking about earlier. I think one thing we talked about, I got into chemistry. I don't remember why I was talking about chemistry. I'm making another video about Lutetia. And why was I talking about chemistry? I don't remember. And actually, see, I have more comments. I always have more commentary. Yeah, so we're done talking about the snow. There's not much. It snowed a lot. Streets were bad. Hard to get to work. So we had 2 days off worth of classes, even though we could have easily just gone online. Whatever. Point is, I had 2 extra days off school break. And then I didn't go anywhere Wednesday anyways because both were online. And so then I didn't go to class until Thursday. And then I had one this morning. Which was interesting. And dear professors, even though I don't ever have to take 1-year classes again, since this is the end, hopefully. Please stop with like Top Hat and all that bullcrap. Or Packback is a new one I'm seeing. This was his professor today. She was like, yeah, you're going to use Packback instead of having a textbook. And I was just like, this is not a substitute. I'm still spending $25. And why are these sites so damn expensive? I mean, $25 isn't that much, but like, we're college students. We're not made of money. Even though I'm not paying for it. It's just like, it's stupid. I shouldn't have to pay for that. Because you're too lazy to use the built-in discussion boards on Canvas. I can say Canvas because all other colleges use Canvas, so. Whatever. Anyways. Point is, I have to, actually, I have that thing set up. My account set up. I just have to go pay for it. I'll do that tomorrow. Yeah, Outback and I are making a whole video tomorrow of me building this curtain to block heat into my room. Could be interesting. We're gonna get some succulents to cover up part of it. And so, like, after I got off work today, I was making a bunch of phone calls to a bunch of hardware stores, or just stores in general, asking, like, hey, how much are your succulents? Instead of, going there myself. And determine my competitors, because I work at Menards. Home Depot has the cheapest. Menards doesn't have any. Otherwise I would have gotten them at Menards. But I will probably be getting the pots for them. And again, you'll see all this in the video tomorrow. Anyways, so, yeah. I somehow got into the topic of chemistry. And I think I said that chemistry would result... that if I had had a better chemistry teacher in high school, I might have gone into a different career. It's very well possible. I like chemistry. That's the thing. I do really, really like it. But there's just... We were talking about experiments. Oh, I remember now. I was talking about how I have to get into my job and like the starters. We're talking about minimum wage. Yep, I remember now. Yep. Jesus, I talked for so long about all kinds of stuff, and it's all gone. Just me talking to myself for an hour, for like 20 minutes. It was good commentary. Damn it. Whatever. If I seem all over the place, that's because, well, I had already done this episode before. So, yeah, that's why. Anyways, well, to get into starting position at my job, you basically went and gathered data. I don't remember why, but all the internships for someone with my major was gathering data. I don't know what it was for. I don't know what it was about, but it seemed like it was all just gathering data, and I hated. And I was like, I hate the idea of doing that, even though I'm probably going to end up doing that anyways because I need a starting position at an ag lending firm. So I guess I'll just get stuck doing that, which is fine. It's whatever. Which is what we got into, where I talked about how in chemistry, we never did experiments. The one class, you would think you would do all kinds of experiments. Nope. Or like demonstrations, none. None whatsoever. Physics, though, we did all kinds. But when it came to doing it, I liked doing the experiments. Measuring them, taking the data, I hated that. Examining the data and answering questions, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. If it's already put on a chart for me, that's great, perfect. I can analyze it just fine. It looks like dark gray now. Huh, that's funny. Sorry. Again, I already did this freaking episode. I've been playing for 30 minutes. Jesus. Yeah, if you're wondering why this is so tall, it's because I was just winging it. And in the center, I'm putting a giant jungle tree. So hopefully it'll fit. I'm putting a glass top on this thing. You're thinking, Doc, why glass? Black glass, to be specific. And that's just because it's cool. And that's what my original one I built in my Let's Play world. Not Let's Play, but my original survival world. On my parents' PC, I put glass on it. I really do not remember. Well, gotta love when you let go of shift or Minecraft decides to crap out on you and not hold shift anymore. But whatever. Yeah, and so, yeah, we talked about chemistry. And I love chemistry, and it's prevalent because I have a bunch of elements, and I love the elements. I love learning how they interact. I have all of Theodore Gray's, like, books on reaction. I have his elements book, his reactions book, his molecules book. His reactions book was really good. I really liked it. If you need a read and you're into chemistry and you like and you just like visualizing chemical reactions, it's a good read. I want to read Molecules. I just haven't sat down. I've actually read the third book in the series, which is Reactions. Even though Molecules should have come. Even though I should have read Molecules first. I just saw Reactions one day when I was in the Barnes & Noble bookstore and I grabbed it. I have Elements, which I really like, but my copy of the Elements is paperback, which is not very good. And it's also before they named the last few elements on the periodic table. So organesson is not named. Tennessine, not named. So yeah, they're not named. So that it's a relic. And also, I don't want to get rid of it, or like, I'll probably get a hardback in the future if I ever want to read it more, because it doesn't stay together. And you may think, oh, donate it. I don't want to, because it's special to me. I don't want to get into why it's special to me. So, well, maybe I should, just so I have it saved somewhere. My mom gave it to me when I was like 13 or something. I don't remember. That doesn't sound that big of a deal, but people that know me, that's kind of a big deal. Anyways, that was getting depressing. Let's get on from that. What am I doing here? Yeah, 2 more layers. Okay. Anyways, you know, I just realized to sound like a white girl. It's like, the people that know me know why I'm depressed. Well, not depressed, sad. But, it's true. I'm not gonna share it. I don't really feel like sharing it. Not on the internet. Maybe when I hit like 10,000 subscribers, I'll share what happened. Get me there if you want to know. Okay? If you really want to know why that book is so special to me. Anyways, okay. Actually, I ran out of freaking milk. I'm thirsty. I'm starting to cough. Problems. So at work today, and weird thing happened. So there's this woman, that works in the department next door. And we don't get to see each other that much. That's just because, well, we did. Until my schedule changed, and now I work the same day she works. My schedule only changed because my classes changed. Yeah, usually, so context here. My classes were always Monday, Wednesday. I always got off early Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I still get off early Fridays. I usually don't even have classes Friday, but this semester I have a class. So anyways, and well, she works Tuesdays because she doesn't really need. I don't know why she even still works there. She's just working there until her fiance gets back from, or like when her fiance finally gets to like a place where he's gonna be more permanent and they want to move to and live. I'm assuming she's working till she gets married. I don't know. I never asked her, actually. I should ask her. Anyways, so I was talking to her today because she was in there subbing for somebody else. And so, well, we got to talking. And it's the weirdest thing. So, we both went to the same university. Or she went to the same university I did. And we met each other through work. And it's the weirdest thing. I made the comment to my manager today. I've never had a girl I couldn't get to stop talking to me. Because, like, today, I'm standing there at the desk, eating my dinner. She rolls up with the cart, hands me 3 boxes off the cart, and says, "These are yours." I'm like, "Okay, thanks." And then she talks to me for probably, like, 30 minutes. So I don't get any work done for 30 minutes. Because I'm sitting there listening to her talk. And we're talking back and forth. And, you know, I'm, like, looking at my watch thinking, like, oh, my God, what time is it? I have things I need to do. You know, I'm leaving. I want to leave early today, and I can't do that if my work isn't done. And we're just talking. And I just thought to myself, I've never had a girl I could not get to stop talking to me. And be like, oh my god, and everybody's like, oh my god, do you two like each other or something? Like, she has a fiance. Well, that never stopped anybody. I'm like, it stops me, and I'm assuming it stops her. We're just friends. It's just we have a lot. We just have a lot of common, a lot to talk about. Plus, we don't see each other. Maybe now that we'll see each other basically every Tuesday, maybe there'll be less to talk about. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Further reports. No big deal though. What about my I have black wool. Son of a gun. Son of a gun. Yeah, and so it was interesting, and we talked about I talked about how I came to this realization, like right there now, that there's only two fields of science that I can think of that use calculus, and feel free to correct me. I said physics and economics. I would think that meteorology, I think, requires calculus. Correct me if I'm wrong. But maybe not. I don't know. I don't know anything about them. Maybe they do. But the point is, because she was talking about having to take physics, and I came to the realization, and that she had to take calculus in high school or something, and we came to the realization that I came to the realization that physics and chemistry, not physics and chemistry, physics and econ are the only things that require calculus. Physics, you don't need calculus, or I guess maybe you do. To derive equations, you use calculus. You use derivatives to derive. Is it speed from acceleration? I can't remember. Phil, if you're watching this, correct me in the statement, but use the derivative of acceleration to find something, I believe. I could be wrong. I can't really remember. But again, we never really used calculus in physics in high school, nor did we ever really use it in my mech systems class, which is physics but with tractors, which we'd both taken, which is why we got into this discussion. And not me and Phil, me and this coworker. And so yeah, well, we never really used, at least not to my knowledge, that we used any calculus. I think he used calculus on the board. I stopped listening halfway through the semester because the last part of the semester was not useful because I didn't have to take the final because my grades were high enough. And two, were plenty high enough. And two was because, well, I knew all the stuff. There were portions that I just didn't listen because I knew all the information that he was teaching. And it just, in my mind, it just wasn't useful to me. So, for mech systems, we don't do a lab. We do a thing called a recitation. And for those of you who don't know, a recitation is basically the way we used recitation it was practice. So we'd go in, and we would take we would do an in-class worksheet that was due that day. And what was I remember her name. I don't know if I want to say it. Should I just say her name? Her name was Megan. Megan was smart and attractive and was around my age. So I had a small crush on her because, little freshman me was like, oh my god, a smart, attractive girl? What is this? By smart, I mean, like, she was into physics, or she was in the mech systems anyways. But she was a mech systems major or whatever, so. Or like an ag engineering major or something. So she was really smart. And she had the same interests, maybe not the same interest that I have in physics, but we both shared a passion. We could both share a passion for physics. Anyways, um, I have a bigger passion for chemistry than I do physics anymore. But anyways, Edwell, little fresh me, was like, well, I gotta, impress her, even though there's literally nothing I could possibly ever do to impress her, unless I could literally ramble off the answer to one of her questions that would require like a lot of computation in a matter of seconds. That might impress her. That'd probably impress pretty much anybody. I couldn't do that. I think I've done it in chemistry. I did it in calculus one time. I didn't actually know what the answer was. I just straight up just said 7. And the teacher's like, yes. And they're like, what? And she's like, did you actually know that? And I'm like, no. And I literally instantaneously like did the math right then in my head, right then and there, like did it real rough. I'm like, oh yeah, it is 7, I guess. She's like, did you know that? And I'm like, no. And then I quickly did the math there. I'm like, but it is 7, right? She's like, yes. So I did actually do it pretty damn fast, just at my own pace. And it was just a rough estimate. I wasn't 100% sure. Anyways, yeah. So I tried to impress her. Plus, I just wanted to get out of there just because, well, I wanted to go do something else. So I would try and do my worksheet as fast as possible. And it was crazy because, okay, so I was usually, not always, there were some days where I was just as stuck on things as everybody else, but usually I was one of the very first people to get done. And I would get done fast. But, and this just proves how freaking good at this class I was. It was me versus, so like, there's always these two girls. They were always, almost, if it wasn't me, it was them, for who would be the second people done. Except for like one unit where they were really confused about something and then they couldn't finish, and me and some other guy were like the first people to finish. But anyways, we were usually like the first people done. And well, so my challenge was, can I beat them to being done? So you gotta think about this. You have one brain, my brain, versus 2 brains working together. Alright, you may be thinking, well, I mean, 2 brains can be slower than 1. They can be. But in this case, where they can literally multitask, one does one problem while the other does another problem, and then literally copy, because copying takes less time than actually computing the problem. They are twice as fast as I am. So they are at least twice as fast as one brain. So, anyways, I'm like, okay, I gotta try and beat them to being done. And I was able to do it some days. Not every day, but some days I was able to beat them to being finished. But that's how crazy this was. These 2 girls who knew what they were doing, and they were very smart. They still got it done fairly fast, even though they were working together. They still got it done fairly fast. And so this kind of proves, like, holy crap. I was good. Freaking, I was doing this stuff as fast as I could possibly go. It was literally, can I put the calculations in my calculator fast enough to keep up? And there's some days where I was just slower because I would put it in the calculator wrong, or I was trying to do steps in my head, or like I just had numbers floating around all the time, which is something like with multi-part story problems is like you just get numbers floating around your head that are answers to certain parts that you need to plug in later, but you don't need it now. And writing them down, just if I did that, which is effective, and I've done it. Don't get me wrong. If it's a number I just no matter how hard I tried, I cannot memorize it. And in those few seconds, I would write it down. But most of the time, I just try and memorize it. Because if I wrote it down, yes, it's effective, but there are times where it's not effective, and I'm like, what is this number for? Why did I write this down? What is its point? Why does it exist? Who is this? What is this, you know? Important questions. So anyways, I would race these two girls, and it's like I'm not competitive, really, or at least maybe I am competitive, but I hate it. I hate competitive. There's a reason why I hate sports. I just hate competition because it makes me nervous, and it's like I'm never as good as somebody else. I don't think there's anything ever in my entire life where I was just better than literally everybody else, and there was no reason for me to worry ever. There's not once. The only time I was measurably, there's only a few times in my entire life that it has been measured that I am better than literally everybody else. And let's say just in my class, for example. Otherwise, now there's literally nothing better. There's literally, right now, there's nothing I am better at than anybody else. Than everybody else in the world. Not in my class or like anybody in my ring of people. There's just not one thing. I'm a jack of all trades, but master of none. I guess except for econ. But to be fair though, my friend, my gay Malaysian friend, just uses adjectives to talk about him. He knows more econ than I do. But otherwise, if we exclude him, I know more. Otherwise, I know econ with everybody. But there's only a few times I've been measurably better than everybody else. So okay. We took back elementary school and middle school. We took these things called MAP tests, measures of academic progress. That's what it was called. And at the end of the test, you would get this triple digit number. And it measures, are you improving? Are you where you need to be? And so, up on the board, the teacher would tell you, here is where we want you to be. Here is below average, here's above average. Or here's where we need you to be within this range. I've never been below the range. I've been very close to being below the range, but I've never been below the range in anything. So it was 8th grade, I believe. And we take the MAP test once in the summer, once in the spring. Yes, it was 8th grade, yes. Once in the spring, once in the fall. In the fall, in 8th grade, so every year we take them, but 8th grade and 5th grade, I believe, or I don't remember, you take the science one. And you didn't take the science one very often. It was like only every 3 years. I think, yeah, 8th grade and 5th grade. You only took it every 3 years. And so the science one, I'm good at the science one. And so we took it, then that fall, I was 2nd place for like the highest score in my class. Oh, I know what I'm doing in any class. I was 2nd place. And I was in SPED at the time. Because I have ADD. And so I need just some help. I did, after 9th grade, they dropped it. But anyways, sorry, I need to concentrate. I need to find all the sand I have. Um, let's just go mine sand, I guess. Right. And so, okay. Back to what I was talking about. And so I got second. Just behind this girl who's actually now in one of my classes. I just had her in one of my classes. Anyways, and my special education teacher said to me, get first. That if you want a goal for spring semester, get first. I'm like, okay. And so I knew you could count this as cheating, I guess, but at the same time, what's to say I wouldn't have done it before? What's to say I wouldn't have done it anyways? I remember on the test there were things called ions, and I didn't know what an ion was, and I figured, if I learn what an ion is, I can get a higher score than everybody else. That can put me over the edge because I figured I wasn't gonna learn it until next year. So I went to Google because I had computer apps before I took the class, and I read the very basics of what an ion is. And then I went and took the test. Let's just say this. It put me so much higher than everybody else. I was 8 points ahead. And that's a lot. Most people, the standard deviation's probably a fraction of a point. Okay? It's probably a point to like a fraction of a point, at least in our class, I would say. Actually, I bet standard deviation's probably a point. Okay? I was 8 points ahead from second place. 8, maybe even 10. It was not a small number. And I obtained first place. Hands down, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And nobody really cared. I cared, though, as did my sped teacher. Another instance in which I was better than everybody else. It was a 4-H meeting. And we were getting ready for pork quality assurance tests. The PQA. The original versions were, I guess, just about pork. But in modern 4-H, it's about literally everything. It's about, taking care of livestock. I think most of it is, anyways. I don't think there were any plants now that I think about it. Well, anyways, it was all about taking care of livestock. And we decided they gave us a test to prepare us for PQA. So it's a little bit of a quiz bowl. And they put us in teams. And it was me versus my friend at the time. I don't remember what the hell we ended up calling him. I don't remember if we ever censored his name or not. I don't remember. The water bottle will have to remind me in the comments. So anyways, I wasn't on the same team as him. But I wasn't on the same team as him. But it was basically us. The other teams just could not keep up with us. And but I was faster than him still. I was still faster because he would still try and use his team. I didn't use my team at all. I remember there was this one question. The guy didn't even finish it. It was this really complicated question nobody was going to get. The guy was like, what molecules make up hair, muscle, fingernails? And he was going to keep rambling on. I hit the buzzer, and he's like... And everybody's like, oh, you can't just let him do it. And it's just... And then people were upset. It's like, oh, you can't just let him hit the buzzer before you're finished. And it's just like, well, we've let him do it this far. We've let everybody else do it this far. We might as well just keep going with it. And they're just like, what's your answer? I'm like, proteins? And he's like, damn it, yes. And everybody was just like, what? that moment, I knew just how much goddamn smarter I was. Oh my god. We blew every other team out of the water. I blew every other team out of the freaking water. Again, there were teams of 3 people, 3 brains versus my brain. And I destroyed them. Now, my friend's team, they were the only people close, and I don't remember the numbers. This is a long time ago. Damn, was I smart. One last, I was smarter than everybody else. I probably told this story before. I just love to tell it, because it's so funny. So, I was in advanced algebra in 10th grade. And it was the finals, so it was summertime. And it was open note. But my notes are useless. But I was able to use my notes, though. I could actually read them. They were very useful. There was this girl who is obsessed with, maybe not getting the best grade. Actually, she is obsessed with getting the best grade. Better than everybody else. But she's obsessed with getting A's and getting good grades. She missed like a point. Like 1 or 2 points because she missed some negatives or whatever. Very common mistakes. And she was all upset. And I go up there to turn mine in. I'm the last person. I am the last person of the entire class, of this class, and for basically the entire advanced algebra, because there were 2 sections of us, because they also had kids from, like, higher grades, because they were stupid. That's why they were in there. Anyways, oh, sorry, I'm pushing buttons because I'm thinking of ARC. And so, I'm the last person to turn in. I turn in, I go back to my seat to just get ready, because I took the longest. I took a long time. Everybody was done, like, way before I was. I took my time. Just because, well, you know, the very last one was a triple displacement. Not triple displacement. Triple elimination. I don't know if anybody knows what that is. But triple elimination is you have 3 variables and you have to solve for all of them. You have 3 equations. Fun. It doesn't sound fun, but it is fun. Kind of. It's a weird kind of fun. I will say that. Because it's just like, it's not hard. Not really. The math's relatively simple. There's just a lot to do, and it takes some time. That's why I call it fun. That's why I call it fun. Anyways, it was the very last problem. It wasn't even extra. It wasn't even like a bonus question. It was just like the last question, and so that's also part of why it took me some time to do. And I turned it in. I went back to my seat to collect my things. And I hear I hear this, no! No way! No way! From this girl who's obsessed with getting number 1, or getting straight A's anyways. And I walk back up there, and the teacher's like, test. So I'm like, oh, how'd I do? He's like, you missed nothing. It's a perfect score. I had 100%. No one in both sections had 100%. Not one single person. And therefore I was measurably better than everybody else. And you can't claim I cheated because no one else got 100. Therefore I couldn't have cheated. Plus he spread us out. So, you can't even claim I cheated. I couldn't have even cheated to get that score. So, Yeah, in that moment I was measurably better than everybody else, and it felt good. And God, it pissed her off. Like, she was so pissed. She's like, "What? This is some. You do this it wrong." She just yelled at it. She was mad. She's like, no, this isn't, no. She was angry. Angry, nasty woman. Boy, but it didn't feel good to be better than her. For somebody who calls me stupid all the time. She called me stupid all the time, and it's just, boy, did it feel good to just stick it to her. Just like, hi, and you call me stupid. I am far freaking stupid, you hoe. Yeah, so that's exciting. Sorry, I'm burping. Just, my lunch wants to come back up. Not lunch, supper, which I ate for free because I don't pay for my meal plan. Anyways, we're basically over time, so it's time to go. Anyways, in the next episode we will continue working. We're gonna work on that glass, and killing squids, I guess. Actually, we need to go get in for a thumbnail. But, yeah, that's it. That's it for this episode, guys. Pretty great episode. Not gonna lie. Could have been better. I think the original commentary had been better, but, yeah. Very few instances where I am measurably better than everybody else. And actually, if you want to make me measurably better than a bunch of other people, subscribe. Make me the biggest YouTuber on the platform. Why not? Make me literally measurably better than everybody else. Anyways, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. New Let's Plays every single Monday at 11 a.m. Central Time. And good night. Hello there. Actually, it's more of a goodbye. This is my Minecraft outro. Anyways, make sure you subscribe so that we can hit our 10K goal, so we can plant 100 trees for subs for trees. Otherwise, stick around for the next 20 seconds to give me that sweet, sweet watch time.